Hey YouTube, New York Half-Ass Prepper here. This is a Dell Inspiron E1705. And it's an old, shitty laptop computer that I literally found it in the garbage. And I have no idea what's on it. And to be honest with you, I don't care. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to recycle this computer to make a computer that is usable for what you want to do. This is also applicable if you have a Windows laptop or even a Windows desktop. And I hear people all the time, oh, my computer crashed. I can't upload to YouTube and so forth. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to fix it. And this is something I've been doing for a long time now, and I've perfected the process. This is a DVD that I burned myself. And it contains an operating system that is called Linux. Specifically, Linux comes in many flavors, and the flavor that I like the best, or the distribution, as we call it in the Linux world, is called Linux Mint. And it's a really fine, polished Linux distribution. And when I say Linux, I don't mean to scare anybody. It's just an operating system, just like Windows is, and just like the Apple one, OS 10 is, and actually OS 10 shares a lot of things in common with Linux. And just like the old DOS back in the day, and Windows 3.1, and for you real geeks, the Commodore 64 and the what's that other thing? The Amiga had an operating system that was a little bit different than Windows. So this is a disk that I burned with the Linux distribution on it, and that'll be another video, but you can actually buy these for like $3 on eBay, or you can go to the distribution's website and download what's called an ISO file and burn it to a DVD. And I think they even have smaller distributions that'll fit on the old-fashioned CD-ROMs, but everything's DVD now. So all you have to do is put it in there and turn the computer on. Now, most computers will boot from the CD-ROM. Some of them you had to do a keystroke or go into the BIOS and tell it to boot from the CD-ROM, but most of them will do it right out of the box. So it takes a minute or two to boot up. And I've actually, there's the logo, Linux Mint. I've actually installed this operating system on computers that people had Windows on, and they came in and started using the computer, and they didn't even realize that there was a difference between the Windows and the Linux. You don't have to have any, it's not for geeks anymore, you don't have to have any special programming skills or anything. It's very, very, very easy to use. It's all menu driven, it's all graphical, just like Windows and Apple is. All right, just so you know, this computer requires a that you tell it to boot from the CD-ROM drive or the DVD drive. And what you do is you turn the computer on, you hit the power button, and then you hit the F12 key. On most BIOS systems, you hit the F12 key right away, and it'll give you a screen that you can select what which drive to boot from, the hard drive that's in the computer or the DVD that I just put in. So then you come with a screen like this, and it's going to basically give you a menu-driven system and walk you through all the options that you need to install the operating system. And if you've got any kind of brain in you at all, it's not going to be a problem. There might be a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm telling you, you got this. It's easy. Okay, this is what the desktop looks like. So instead of saying Windows 8 or whatever your flavor is, it says Linux Mint 17.2. And over here, it says install Linux Mint. So all I did so far basically was turn the computer on, tell it to boot from the DVD, and then just wait. It takes a long time because it's an old, slow, crappy computer. But when you get done, this is what the desktop is going to look like. And if you have any compatibility issues with your hardware or something, it's going to be evident by this not getting to this screen or this screen not working. So just click or double click install Linux Mint, and it will go through its ablutions and it will install this operating system onto the computer's hard drive for you. And it's very intuitive from this point forward. The only thing you have to do on this operating system is you have to have a username and a password ready to go. Because Linux Mint, the way it works is it's not like it's not like Windows where you can get into it, at least the old Windows, without a username and password. Everything that you do is not everything, but any kind of installation of software or changes to the computer will require the password, which is a good thing. It's security, and inherently, this is a more secure operating system than Windows or the OS 10. And I know from experience that you can surf the internet, you can look at websites, you can look at midget porn, whatever your thing is, and this is impervious to the downloading viruses and malicious code onto the computer. And I've even had this computer in a workplace with 5 different guys, 10 different guys using the computer, and it managed to stay up for years until we finally took it out of service. And we only took it out of service because we had a hardware compatibility issue with the new scanner printer that we bought. And I could have solved it, but the powers that be decided to get a new laptop so they can make this scanner software work for what they were doing. So anyway, it has a nice welcome screen, and you can, select English or any other language that's available in there. But we're going to do English, and then we'll just hit continue down here. You can see this is an old shitty computer. It's missing some keys from the keyboard, and it's all filthy dirty, but it still works. So I'm going to repurpose it for just sitting here. I'll just keep this in my man cave, and when I want to look at the internet, I could just whip this guy out. And it's also useful if you have like a lot of kids around and stuff. You can just let them use this instead of screwing up a good computer that you need for work or that you got important files on. And I'm not even going to fix this. I mean, I can go buy these keys on eBay or buy a whole new keyboard and put it in there, but I don't even care because I'm not going to be typing any term papers around this, and most of everything is going to be with the mouse pad here, or the trackpad, or whatever they call that thing. So it doesn't even pay to do this. Now on the installation disk, I'm just going to click guided, use the entire disk. But there's several different options, but I'm going to use the whole disk. There's nothing I need on this hard drive here. So it's just warning me that I can't undo this. But I want to wipe out everything that's on here, any old user data or photos or viruses that the people downloaded. I'm going to wipe it all out anyway. So according to this computer has an 80 gigabyte Samsung hard drive on it. So I am just going to wipe it out and install this operating system. I just want to go back to this screen for a minute and show you one of the coolest and best features of using Linux, especially this distribution. See right here, I've selected guided, use entire disk, and set up encrypted LVM. Now, LVM is just a acronym for Logical Volume Manager, but you don't have to know about that or anything. But what you do have to know is encrypted. So that means that all of your files in your home directory, and that includes anything that you download, anything that you create, all your browser cache, your browser histories, all of that stuff is encrypted. And I've put a password in there, and because it's encrypted, nobody can look at your files unless they know that password. Now, I'm talking, even if they come to your house, steal your computer, rip the hard drive out of it, hook it up to a supercomputer, they cannot view your files. I suppose, if they take it to the NSA, they can crack the encryption and view your files. But the average police department, the FBI, the average computer hacker, um, your spouse, nobody can get into those files. So if you do elect to encrypt your files, make sure that you write down the password and keep it in a safe place, because if you lose it, then you won't be able to access your own files. Okay, so if you install correctly and restart or reboot the computer, it's going to ask you to log in, and when you log in, you get this welcome screen, just like the shit that they have at Windows. Since I already know about this stuff, I'll just tell it not to start this at show that dialog at startup, and I can continue and open up YouTube. This browser, it's Firefox, same one I use on Windows, and look at YouTube and put in somebody like Ebomi, and there we go. Now I'm looking at YouTube. Now this is an old shitty computer that I literally found in the garbage. It's missing keys, and I installed this wonderful open source operating system called Linux on here, and the nomenclature is the distribution. The distribution I'm using is Linux Mint, which I think is the best one, easiest to use, and finest that's out there. It plays DVDs and flash videos and stuff right out of the box. So if you have an old computer, or if your Windows machine crashes, what I recommend, if you have a Windows machine that crashes, just go out, buy a new hard drive, put it in there, and get yourself a Linux disk and put Linux right on top of that. And you can actually go back and look at the Windows stuff that you had before and access it, should you need to get at some of those files. But most of the time, you're going to lose them anyway. If you take it over to Best Buy, they're going to install everything on top of what you had there, and you're going to lose it. So you can just get a Linux disk and install right on top of what you had if you're not worried about losing your files or your pictures or whatever. And this computer will do everything that a Windows computer will do, and it does it better, faster, cleaner, and does not get viruses or spyware. So that's it. I'm out.